Friends, this is the audio-only interrogation of Mark Lawlor. Before I play the interrogation, let me give you the context of the crime. In September 2008, Mark entered the apartment of Genevieve Orange in Northern Virginia. He sexually assaulted her and beat her to death. The police then brought him in for questioning. Now please keep in mind this is back in 2008, so the audio clarity isn't the best. Forgive me, I did try and add some effects, but I know it isn't the best. I'll play the interrogation for you now. I will come in at the end to advise of his sentencing.
So after yesterday, we found out, we heard at first it was a suspicious death, and then we heard it was a murder. But it really bothered me. So I went home last night, and I couldn't sleep. Drinking, got up this morning, I'm still on my room.
You okay to talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know the victim?
I've seen her once or twice. I saw her at the pool a couple of times. Other than that,
Small talk, that's everything.
Hi, how are you? How's your day going?
Nothing more, just passing or stop talk with each other. No. Should just high and by type thing. Have you seen anything on television? Pictures of her?
We pulled it up yesterday on the internet, and I showed the
That work?
right.
And you saw a picture through like the
Channel
directory, or you saw it on TV? Okay. Did you? Is that how you realized who it was, or you already knew who it was before that?
Well, they told me who it was, and I thought I knew who it was, but when I saw the picture, then it all came, to light as to who it really was. And I was like,
Do you know her name?
yeah, Genevieve.
Did you know what her name? Do you know if she went by that name, or she went by any other nickname, previous name, things like that?
It was always so over. Okay, years ago. I'm going to do that with all the residents, walking.
Sure. Do you recall like when last time you would have seen her?
God, the last time I saw her was probably back when the pool was open.
You guys closed after the holiday?
Yeah. Probably a month or so.
It would have been at the pool, not like in the office. Okay. Do you know what apartment through all this that she's in?
Yeah, right across the hall, 110 or something. B110.
And have you ever been in her apartment? I mean, I don't mean personally, but like, as friends. I mean, have you ever been in her work purposes? Have you ever had to go in her apartment for problems? And our information is that she lived alone. Is that your understanding as well?
That's more than I even know. To be honest with you, I really didn't know her, so I didn't know if she lived alone with somebody or not.
Well, when your office saw her on television, you guys pulled her up to the direct computer. Is that what you did? You submit is there a picture of the resident?
Yeah.
With that. Okay. So like when you pulled that up.
Yeah, that said she was 29. Yeah, I guess it did. It said she lived alone, 29. And then we saw it as a suspicious death, and then later on it was pronounced as a murder.
Right. Yeah, we're working this as a murder. And that's where we're at. Dennis and I are homicide detectives. So we're just trying, as you know, we've been here since it happened. So we're just trying to talk to as many people as we can. Of course, everybody that works here is important.
Sure.
Now, the detective or the officer you ran into, I know that there was a problem. What was this? What happened there? Or there was some sort of
there was
argument or something?
No, I walked down to 7-Eleven and literally bumped into a guy and apologized, and he and I started talking, went outside, we continued talking.
And when is this one?
Was it Wednesday? I guess it was Wednesday night.
Wednesday night? Okay.
And then, anyway, we just kind of hit it off. He was telling me I was in the Army, and so anyway, I invited him back over. We started playing cards. We played cards for about...
In your apartment?
Yeah. For about an hour or so, maybe 2. And then I caught him cheating, and I told him to leave, and he wouldn't leave. And then literally had to throw him out of my apartment. And then there was another guy in A06 who heard the commotion, Raphael, dug got him, and he came over and helped me remove the guy. And I just slammed my door.
And the 7-Eleven you're referring to, is that the one right here on Patrick Henry Drive?
Right.
I've been told by some residents there's like a cut through. Is that accurate? There's some sort of, I haven't been outside and looked around, but is there a cut through to the 7-Eleven?
Yeah, if you go, like, I always go, like, the service road right there, you walk out the back door, go up the service road, and take that street right down to Patrick Henry and make a right. It's about 2 blocks down.
Oh, you stay on the main road then? You don't cut through?
Well, that is the...
That is a cut through?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm familiar with it. I actually used to work this area a long time ago. But I haven't been out and about in a while back there. Now, this was, you said around, this was Wednesday night?
This was probably close to midnight, somewhere right in there when the disturbance happened. And
What time do you think you ran into him?
probably around 9:30, 10.
And can you describe him for me, please?
Probably 50, 55, black, dark-skinned, clean-shaven. He was wearing black, I think he was wearing black jeans, a black shirt, and a black hat.
Oh, let's write that down. Black jeans.
And he told me his name was Mike. He just seemed like a really nice fellow. We were just shooting the breeze. And
A guy named, told you his name was Mike. Black jeans, black hat. Was it like a baseball hat or a cowboy hat?
I don't know what you call it. It looked like kind of like a stocking cap.
Oh, okay, yeah, like a beanie, one of those, or head rag, some of the guys wear. And it was black, right? Mm-hmm. And what, do you remember the color of his shirt?
Black.
Like a t-shirt, sweatshirt?
No, like a t-shirt.
Any writing on it? Remember any facial hair on this guy?
No, I think he was clean shaven.
You think you'd recognize him again if you saw him?
I think so.
Now, he's obviously important to us because he's not from here. He didn't grow up here. When you guys kick him out, you physically have to take him and throw him out the
I think
door.
they're physically pushing that in my
Out
apartment.
of it. And tell me more about how that happened.
He was just, well, when we were playing cards, I noticed he dealt something off the bottom of the deck, and I mean, it wasn't much. We were playing nickel, dime, quarter.
Okay.
And then he said no, he wasn't. And I said, well, I think you better go. And he said, why? And I said, because I think you're cheating. So anyway, I told him he had to go, and I opened up the door, and then he wanted to know why he had to leave. And he stand there, and then I slammed the door, and then he was pounding on the door and said he left his bag in my apartment, and he did. It was a little black duffel bag. And so I opened up the door, and when I went to give it to him, he tried to shove his way back into my apartment, which really freaked me out.
Sure.
That's when Raphael heard it. Raphael came over, and we both pushed him out of my apartment.
Raphael's a neighbor. He's not somebody. Do you live alone in your
Yes, I
apartment?
did.
Sorry about that. Now, when you guys, I mean, honestly, at that point now he's out of your apartment, and you got his bag back, so do you guys continue to escort him out of the place, or do you
I don't know
just walk away?
I was back in my apartment.
Raphael and him.
I had no clue, because when I closed the door, that was it. I was done.
All right. And you don't know where he goes in the building. And when you saw him, was he actually at the 7-Eleven, or was he in that cut through, or?
Yeah, he was actually outside of the
And did he appear to be intoxicated or high or anything like that?
I think so.
Were you intoxicated or high that evening?
Yeah.
Drinking or?
No, but I did go there to buy a 12-pack of beer.
Okay.
So,
But you didn't drink anything?
not till I got home.
Oh, okay, right, that's what I mean. I'm not the beer police. I don't care if he's drinking the whole thing on the way home. Yeah, I was trying. So did you offer him any beer? Did he have any of your?
He had one of them.
And it was Miller Lite, you said? Did he leave with your beer?
No.
The candy you gave? No.
No.
And how long do you think you guys been playing cards?
About an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm guessing. Because I was thinking, it was right around 12:30 when all that happened. So.
Did anybody call the police?
Not that I know of.
Did you call the police? Did he threaten your life or anything like that?
He just kept saying, I want to know why you're kicking me out.
Was he saying it the way you were talking now, or was he agitated?
No, he was agitated. And I told him, but I thought you were cheating. And I just didn't, I just felt uncomfortable. So it was your dad and over anyway. So.
Is your apartment similar in style to this apartment? I mean,
I have an efficiency.
was he cursing, or was he just, why are you calling me out?
I'm sure there were some curse words in there. I think this guy could be a suspect.
All right, now, I mean, everybody's a suspect. You know, we've been talking to everybody in the building that we can find. A lot of doors are, there's nobody answers them. Some that people are just having been with the Ramadan going on. There's been a lot of people just haven't been home. So right now, maybe we just got to keep all of our, everything open. Everybody's in here and so forth. So that's why it's important, and that's why the interviews have taken, and we have a lot more to do. But the interviews have taken so long. It's like yourself. There's just a lot of questions we're asking people. Some people are more than cooperative. Other people, don't cooperate much or don't have much to say about things. So, we're just trying to be open-minded.
Yeah.
But all right, now this is a guy you've never seen before, right?
Right.
Okay. And for as far as you know, around 12 or 12:30, he's
gone.
Okay. Did you know if he was with anybody else? Did you see anybody else with him at the 7-Eleven on the way over?
So, at least that's what it appeared to me.
Did he have a cell phone with him? Did you try to get on the phone?
Not that I saw him.
The reason why I ask is in case he was trying to set you up to rob you, or setting you up to assault you or something. Maybe had somebody following the building, and then we have cases like that. We haven't had here, but we have cases in the county when that kind of thing happens. So it's important if you think of any cars pass by you, you guys are on the way over here that are suspicious to you.
No, I didn't feel uncomfortable.
Sorry.
That's okay.
And I'm sorry, you said it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, about that. Probably around 2 hours.
Okay. Did you guys eat any food or anything like that? Anybody else come and join you to play cards? You're a trusting guy. I don't know if I would have done that.
I only drank several beers when I was in my house, so I was pretty.
Oh, you were pretty drunk? How many beers did you had drunk? Was this like throughout the day or when he had him here?
No, when he was here.
How many do you think you had?
5 or 6. But I'm weigh like 150 pounds. So.
And how many, you said you just had one?
I think.
Where do you guys play cards in the apartment?
Right there at my living room table.
Okay. And how long do you think this incident, once you realize he's cheating and telling him to leave, are you physically grabbing him and trying to get him out of the apartment? You just say, hey, leave, and he starts to walk away, and then there's the whole, I forgot my bag, and you're at the door.
Yeah.
Is it more like that, or is it like you grab him, hey, you're out of here?
No, it wasn't like that. No, he was leaving, and then I don't think there was any mention of the bag till after he was out of the apartment. Then he started beating on my door, and I didn't want to open the door back up. So that probably lasted a good 5 minutes. And he kept saying, I want my bag, I want my bag. So I figured the best thing to do was just open the door, give him his bag, and have him leave. I didn't expect him to try and barge his way back in.
And that's what he tried to do when you opened the door. Did he hurt you? Did he assault you?
No, it was just a pushing match.
This is some of the information you gave to the officer the other day?
Right.
Okay. I don't mean to sound like this was a bad decision to bring this guy here. Would you brought other people here from 7-Eleven or anywhere else that you don't know?
No, that was the first time. I felt bad when I bumped into the guy. I don't know where that went. We just started talking, and he said to me, he said, "You play cards?" And I said, "Yeah." He did nothing doing it. So
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. You do not drive, or you do drive?
I don't.
You do not drive. By choice, or you're not allowed to drive?
Not allowed to. Okay. I'm in the process of getting my license back.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, let me step away from him for a minute and go back to Jenny. That's what Genevieve, we also called her Jenny. Okay. You said that you've seen her, really, it sounds like when the pool was open was the last time you saw her. And it was just high and by stuff.
Yeah, she was at the pool, and as I walked by, I saw her. I said hello. I mean, I do that with everybody here.
Right.
Just,
Right. Sure. Sure. Because you work here. Right. Was there ever a time that she had to come to the office, or was there problems? Was there anybody that she come down and complain about a resident or noise or anything like that?
Not that I ever remember.
Any would maintenance requests go through your office? Would you just call something with a resident call the office and somebody that you answer the phone and say, "Hey, I got a problem in my apartment," things like that nature? Has she ever had to call the apartment, and would you be the person that would typically take that phone call?
I don't ever remember her calling for a service request.
Did you guys keep a record of that?
Oh yeah, yeah, everything's on the computer.
Now I understand that you guys had in here some pest control people or duct cleaning.
Oh yeah,
something like that. Both maybe recently.
yeah, they're actually doing the duct cleaning now.
Okay. Do you know if her apartment was serviced Wednesday?
I don't know, but Kim would know.
Note there. Those guys, you guys have a company, or do you guys, the maintenance, do that themselves?
No, Air Care Technologies is the one doing the duct cleaning. And Ehrlich is the one who does the
I'm sorry, Air Care
Technologies. Air Care or Air Care Technologies.
Okay. And the pest was?
That's by Ehrlich.
What?
ELRICH, I think.
Okay. Ehrlich Pest Control?
I think that's what they're
Does it? They do the whole building for you. They're your contact.
Yeah, they think that we set it up. See, Kim handles all that too. They set it up where they do like each wing, I think, each week. And then if anybody has like a bug, sees a bug in their apartment, they come down and say, "Hey, can you put me down on the pest control?" So we just write down their apartment, what they think they saw, and then when they come in every Tuesday, they do it.
I'm taking that there's been no complaints regarding her activity in her apartment.
Not that I'm aware of.
Are you aware of what kind of a vehicle she drives or anything like that? Have you seen her? I know you've seen by the pool, but thinking back, have you ever seen her coming in with a group of people or somebody that you can remember?
No, I think every time I saw her, which was just a couple of times, was she was by herself.
Okay. Can you describe her to me, like when you've seen her, how she looked or how she was acting?
Every time I saw her, she was always just like every time I saw her, she'd just walk in and like go towards her apartment. I mean, she never seemed friendly or unfriendly. She was just, hey, how you doing, kind of thing.
But she definitely would speak. She wasn't like somebody who would just put her head down.
Oh, no.
Okay. So she seemed friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have too many people in the building that won't speak to you.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Thinking, thinking back, you actually started working here after she's lived here longer, so you were involved in leasing the apartment, so you don't know anything about that.
No, I never heard, was it Chuck, our maintenance guy, said that she's lived here for a couple of years. So.
Chuck, the maintenance guy.
Chuck,
I think I ran into him earlier. Anything you can think of that would be helpful? Anybody in the building that you kind of feel there's been problems with? Or I know you said we're kind of friendly, but any issues you see? I mean, you guys work in the office, so you guys see more than the average bear. So, I mean, anybody rubbed you wrong?
Actually, the guy in A06, actually that one, he's had the police called on him here a couple of times for domestic disturbances.
Do you know who he is?
Raphael Delgado.
The guy who intervened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which really kind of surprised me.
Okay. Raphael doesn't work here, does he? Okay. Anybody other than Raphael?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
there was a disturbance here a couple of months ago between a couple, but I don't know who it was.
Okay. That's just somewhere on the property, in the building.
Right.
Okay. How about the security guards? What can you tell me about that?
We had one security guard here, now that you mention it, that got fired. I don't know what his name is, and I heard it was because he was having intimate relations with another person's wife here, but I don't know. That's all hearsay.
With the resident's wife?
With a resident's wife. But again, it's hearsay. His name was Ramon.
Is he with the same security guys?
Security.
Now, how do you guys work the key situation? Because I've heard different stories on that.
We all have keys to the door that leads to the door. And then we all have keys to, up until yesterday, we all had keys to the key room as well.
Okay, so you all have keys that lead up to...
Yeah, when you walk back, okay, where the mail room is, the first door is security, the second door is the key that leads to the key room.
Okay.
So we all have keys to that, and then we all have keys to the key room so that if somebody gets locked out, we can let them back in.
Okay. So you guys all have those still?
No, I don't have it. No, actually, they took them away from us.
They took those away too? Okay. How about keys to individual apartments? Where are those kept?
Those are kept in that key room.
And what is the method or process to check a key out to use a key? Is it just something that somebody would have to sign it out, or how does that work?
What I usually do is, like, say we have somebody, vendor come in that needs to either paint or clean the carpets or something, they'll bring me a work order, and then I look at the work order, and then we just give them the key to the apartment, and then we take their driver's license, and I take a post-it and then put on which key they have, so that they can't have their license back till I get the key back. And then if it's maintenance has access to the keys as well. And then if somebody gets locked out, then they have to come in and tell me who they are, and I have to verify in the computer that they are who they are, so that I can let them in. Because if they're not on the lease, I can't let them in, which has happened several times.
Okay. So maintenance doesn't have their own set of keys, or they can just respond from wherever.
No, I think they all have to go through the key box.
And has there been any incidents where keys have been missing, or you had to chase people down for keys where they could have kept them longer than they needed them?
No.
Okay. Specifically, Jenny's apartment or her wing, this wing, has there been any incidents?
Now, we have given out mass keys over the last couple of days, but Kim has pulled those. As far as I know, Kim or
for us or for?
No, for the duckling.
Oh, okay.
It was like 2 big bags of keys.
Do you know what day was her apartment serviced, or you're not aware? You might have said that earlier. Okay.
But they've got the list of everybody that's been done.
Okay. How are those guys? Any of those guys rub you wrong? The duck guys or the pest guys? Or?
They all seem friendly.
Okay. Her apartment, I don't know what that's considered. That's considered psychotic. There's no bedroom, right? That you see. Studio. Yeah. Do you know how her apartment is laid out, or are you not aware of how?
All the studios are exactly the same. They're all 600 square feet. I think they're all laid out the same. I mean, every one I've ever been into looks identical. I mean, other than the fact that it might be switched, like the living room area might be on the left side when you walk in, and then some of you walk in there on the right side.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at some of the others. I mean, I obviously see this one and hers, but and just I've been in a few apartments at the door and stuff. I haven't had a chance to really go in and look around. But maybe I'll take that up with who's the boss? Is it Jen? Karen?
Karen's the
property. There's another one here earlier. Andrea or something? Is it?
That's the district manager.
District manager. Okay. All right. I mean, you got anything? I'm just trying to.
Yeah, a couple of things. The duffel bag that this guy had. When you say duffel bag, I think of some.
Oh no, it was kind of big, black.
Was it leather, cloth, nylon?
Nylon. Black nylon.
How long do you think it was?
Maybe a foot and a half.
Did it seem like he was carrying personal effects in that, or?
I don't know. It was zip shut.
It's like a gym bag? Or
That's what it looked like a small gym bag.
And when you picked it up and gave it back to him, right? How did it feel when you picked it up? Was it full, empty?
Yeah, it was pretty full, and it probably, I don't know if I had to put a weight to it, maybe 10 pounds, I'm gonna guess.
Did it have like a little handle on it, or was it like
T-straps?
Was it rigid, or did it seem like there was a bunch of loose items in there? What was your impression of what was in it?
You know what? The way that it was happening so fast, I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? It was like I just snatched it up, handed it back up. So, you know.
I think I heard you say, did you tell Brian that you've never been in her apartment? Jenny's apartment? Were you, when you go in and out, like that night, Wednesday night, were you just went up the door downstairs? Or?
I always go out the one by my apartment. I always go down one flight of stairs and go out.
Is the gym down that way, or?
It's actually down on, no, I live on A wing. It's
Gym's on this?
It's on this one.
Okay, and
I'm in.
This will be over here. Okay, I was getting a little confused. Would you have been up on the first floor Wednesday night?
No.
Okay, so you wouldn't have been down this hallway?
No, and actually I try to stay. When I'm off, I pretty much, unless I'm going somewhere, I pretty much stay in my apartment, because if you live and work at this place, you'll know it's as soon as you walk out, oh Mark, can you help me with this, or hey, can you do this, or hey, you know, I got a problem, or I got a service request, and it's like overwhelming sometimes. So that's why I always use the back door.
What do you think the longest conversation you've had with Jenny was?
A second. Hi. How are you today? Fine. How are you?
Okay. Is there any reason why anybody, residents, I think you know that we've talked to everybody in the building. Is there any reason why anybody would say that they saw you on this hallway Wednesday night? Okay.
Is that her?
Yeah. You see this one on TV? Is that how you remember her looking?
Anyway, you didn't recognize her at first because you asked, is that her?
Well, I couldn't see it the way that it was laying.
No.
I assumed it was her.
I'm good.
Jimmy had a cat. Have you ever seen her cat? I can't think of anything right now. I'm sure there'll be something that'll come to me.
And if you have a card, if there's anything I can think of.
You know, I just gave my last card out. Dennis, you have a card you can give him? I'm gonna put my name on the back. I'll get you a card before. I think I have a call. I'll leave at your desk. I think you had I guess you have a desk in there along with everybody else. I guess leave it on your desk for you. But again, it's Brian Colligan and Dennis Harris. And, you know, you can call if you think of something or you want to be helpful. You know, of course, you know, give us a call. I know, well, you know, you know, I don't think you have any reason to be nervous. Is there any reason why you should be nervous?
No.
Have you talked to Raphael since all this has happened?
Actually, I saw him out front. And I just thanked him for his help. And, you know, that's when the police were here. And so, you know, we didn't really get a chance to talk. But I just thanked him and came back and went to work.
Have you and Raphael had any conversations about?
Not about this now.
Okay.
And Mark, one thing I want to just mention to you, and we'll leave it at that, is that, you know, Dennis and I've been talking to a lot of different people who have been, you know, there's a lot of times when we're asking questions and investigations similar to this, where they want to minimize their contact with the victim just because, you know, so, you know, if there's anything that needs to be corrected or if there's, you know, if you're thinking, you know, I just want to give you that opportunity that, you know, I don't want to tell you, yeah, we talked and we were maybe going to go out for a beer, but if I tell you that, and you guys are going to think, you know, I got something to do. Well, I was in her apartment because, you know, we were just talking and I ended up in her apartment because if we find out later that you're in the apartment, you can say, obviously that would be really odd.
Oh, no, no, absolutely not.
So I just want to make sure, you know, that, you know, a lot of times the response we get is, well, I knew if I told you I had more of a contact or relation with this person that you guys were going to assume I did. Okay. All right.
Seriously.
All right. Well, if you think of anything, you think anything would be helpful, I mean, please don't hesitate to, you know, to give us either one of us a call.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Gentlemen?
Thank you very much.
Hey, Mark, no, you're welcome. If there's anything else, just give me a holler. Okay. Man, nice to meet you. Ready.
Eventually, Mark was found guilty and he was sentenced to death. But in 2018, an appeals court reversed this decision as he was drunk and high on crack at the time. Currently, Mark is serving life in prison.